Hey guys, we are currently at Mrs. Heather Flynn's house in Canton, Georgia, where we're going to go over a quick overview over a claim that had been started, I believe, in 2023, having to do with a branch that fell over Mrs. Flynn's house. We're going to go over, first of all, the few line items that was approved. I know there were these three vents that were approved that are in the scope. I would like to start by mentioning the allowance we would even need in order to even be able to repair these three vents that were in the initial scope. I would like for someone to relook at that scope, because there was a whole lot of line items and a lot of things that weren't taken into consideration on that scope. First and foremost, I would like to go over the shingles that need to even come off to even do the three vents that were approved. Right off the bat, we're running into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shingle, including the one on the top. That doesn't include the, obviously, it's always best to have ice and water and the penetration, so we would actually need to install ice and water there too. Regardless, the shingle does need to be manipulated here. As you can see, it's sitting under the vent, so there's no way of removing these vents that were already approved without actually removing those shingles and manipulating them. Now, this is the shingle that was part of the repair tent video that was sent a few months back. As mentioned again, here's another vent that was approved. Also, all the shingles around its perimeter obviously need to come off in order to even repair this vent and repair this other vent here. So as you may remember, and I will send more photos here. So that's already talking about 9 shingles per vent, and we're just talking about the vents here right now. We haven't even brought up the 10 shingles that were approved throughout the roof. But even starting there with the 3 vents, I'd like to mention, so we would already need 27 shingles manipulated there in order to even be able to repair these vents. Now, most likely what would happen if we repair those vents is the shingles above them would decrease, like they did in the repair video we made for Mrs. Flynn. Now, one thing I also noticed that in the scope, you guys never brought up, or no one ever brought up the plywood. Now, it's very evident that the plywood did break here. You can see it's still broken. It's from that same branch that fell. Meaning, no one ever wrote up for the piece of plywood that needed to be replaced here. Now, with a piece of plywood, we're to know on just that sheet of plywood, we're going to need about 32 shingles to replace that plywood. So we would obviously need to remove the felt paper, remove the shingles, remove the broken piece, and refelt it and reshingle it. And it would take about 32 shingles to reshingle that plywood that needs to be replaced. And that's just one of them that got affected by the branch. Now, there was a few tarps that were installed due to the branch damage. I'd like to mention that these tarps weren't just installed for no reason. These tarps were installed because that branch had punctured a lot of the shingles. Right off the back, we run into 19 tabs. So we run into 7 tabs on the top, and we run into 5 in the left, 5 in the right, about 4 in the bottom. So right off the bat, we're running into 19 tabs. We could easily, safely say that's a little over 6 to 10 shingles that need to be replaced right there on that tarped area. Just on securing the tarp. Just on securing the tarp. Just on securing the tarp, we need to we need to replace those 9, 10 shingles, but there are about 19 tabs. I say that because, you know, one shingle would be 3 tabs, obviously. Same goes over there. A little different from when you're going down, but when you're going to the sides here as well. So you could easily say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, about 10 shingles. Not including the one that actually got the damage. Same goes for here. For this tarp. And not to mention the tarp over here, which actually so there's, I noticed that there was 10 shingles that were approved initially. There's a lot more wind crease shingles, to be quite frank with you, throughout the roof. We also had a lot of shingles with branch damage from that same branch that fell. Same goes for this area. This area needed a whole sheet of plywood replaced, and then the tabs around the tarp. So safe to say about 50 shingles here, more or less, or 50 tabs that would need to replace in order to take care of this area. You could actually feel the hole right there, that where the arrow's pointing, where that branch had fallen. So again, no one ever even wrote that up on the estimate, Mrs. Heather Flynn. That's why I would like for her claim to be reconsidered and reopened, because we feel like there was a lot of stuff that weren't taken into consideration here. I mean, this is way more than 10 shingles that the branch damaged, you know, and that's all that was in the scope. And again, we need more for the tarps, the plywood, the 3 vents. Obviously, we also saw in the pictures a lot of ridge cap blown off. And again, look, there's just branch hits all over. This is already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shingles just in this spot. Just on this spot that need to be replaced from this branch. I feel like this Mrs. Heather was never gave a fair assessment. You know, to start off the branch right here, including all the other damaged shingles. Just off this branch section, 6 shingles already. Again, the plywood over there, the shingles around those vents, and also talking about the fact that it even passed a repair attempt. So I would like for the claim to be reopened, reconsidered, to properly actually take care of Mrs. Flynn and actually properly address all the issues her roof initially had, even from that claim, before her house gets any further damage from all the holes and all the broken shingles.